Okay, this is my GE washing machine, and this is the second video about this. And of course, my wife says the thing doesn't spin, and the clothing comes out very wet, so I have to do something with it. If you look at the first video, you'll see that I went through diagnostic, and I finally found out that what the real problem is, the transmission is leaking, and I guess the seal is not a very good seal in this thing. And the oil comes down on the belt, and when there's too much oil on the belt, well, it just can't spin because the belt keeps slipping too much. So I'm going to have to go through this again, and we'll see. I know what's going to happen, so I have to do something new every time because I'm pretty persistent with this thing, and I know eventually I'm going to throw this in the junk pile. And I don't, because we had an old GE down in the basement here, and it was down here when we had kids. Were young, and it was used so much, and it was down. I must have had 25 years down in the basement, and the wife would beat the tar out of the poor thing, and I felt sorry about the machine, but it worked great for all those years, and I had no problem, and there was no oil coming out of the transmission. It was a great machine, but eventually it was time to put it to bed, and I went to a GE again, and I thought, this is a really nice looking machine. It has a nice big tub in it. There's another problem with that big tub. I can laugh about this machine. I shouldn't. It was kind of an expensive machine, I think it was. Nevertheless, with this time around, I know when I'm going to tip it up already that oil's coming on the belt, and that's what the problem with the spinning. So I'm going to use this this new stuff here. I picked this up in town, and I'm pretty sure it's not going to work, but we're going to try it. It was at, I think it was $10.54 at Amazon, but locally I bought it for $7.99 at, let's see, I think it was Rally, I think. Anyhow, it's worth a shot, maybe. There's a slight possibility it might work. Maybe it's going to be a little bit better. So I'm going to clean it up underneath there, and well, I'll tip it up and take a look at it first, because I know what the problem is before I even tip it up. And okay, we're going to take a look at it. Okay, here we are underneath, and there it is. I see this already. I see some wetness right here, just right on the outside of the cover. It is super easy to remove this. That's a 3/8 socket. There's one here, and there's one over here on this side, and there's one in back. So we're going to take this cover off and take a look at that. Okay, there it is. It's the cover, and you can see that it's wet. The oil is wet all over the place. And that's the same trouble we had before. Okay, there it is. We'll just take the belt off, take a look at it. And here again, it's wet. Yeah, it's oil on there, that's for sure. Whenever you get oil on that, it's going to slip and it's not going to work. So I'm going to have to clean it up, put it back together. Okay, here we are, and I'm going to spray this thing a little bit, and it's supposed to be a light spray. Okay, I guess that's light enough for me. And we'll spray that a little bit. Okay, that's good enough. I cleaned the belt and I sprayed that outside. So I'm going to let that dry a little bit, and then we're going to put it together. It's just an experiment, see how long this lasts with that belt conditioner is on there. And then, you know, these things are, pulleys are out of plastic, and I'm going to have to figure out some kind of a shield to keep the oil off the belt. This is just a quick thing I had to put together real fast because the wife wants to use the machine. And I need that belt conditioner for another items I can use it on. So I haven't thrown just my money away on that belt or conditioner. And I have to think about, there has to be some way I can shield the belts from the oil coming out of the transmission. Maybe I could put some aluminum foil in there. I can't do it now because the wife wants to get this thing working real quick. Or else, another idea, maybe it's more difficult because these pulleys are made out of plastic. I would like to remove it and put a sprocket in there, maybe a bicycle sprocket. That would be more tricky. That would take a lot more effort than that, and I don't know, I may junk it before I get to that point. I don't know. I never know. Well, at some point I'll give up on this and throw it in a junk pile and buy something better than this. But it's just, I make it look kind of interesting, even though I know it's practically impossible to make this thing better. But maybe a sprocket, maybe that's an idea, I don't know. I'm trying to have a little fun doing this thing, although it is kind of foolish to put so much work into this thing, and I'm going to fail without a doubt, and I'll just throw it in the junk pile. And I'll buy some kind of a commercial machine that's going to be better than this. It's too bad because this thing works very well. The only real problem I have so far is the belt gets wet, and then it can't, you know, it slips. And then of course there's another problem is they have a big tub in this and it looks pretty impressive, but unfortunately you can't use it because the motor is too small, so it can't really pull it well enough. But if I put a sprocket into this thing, I wonder I can gear it down a little bit, and that would be help on the motor. But here again, I may or may not try that before I toss it. Okay, well, anyhow, just trying to have a little fun with this. Okay, I got put it all together again, and I think that belt conditioning is a bit of a fiasco there. I don't think that's going to work. Well, that's okay. I don't care about that. When it fails, I'm going to pull that smooth pulley off there and see what's underneath there. And I'd like to figure a way to make a shield. And if I can keep the oil away from the belt, this thing may work for a while. So that will be my next plan. So if you want to subscribe, that will be great. And I'll see you at the next video.